Riverdale sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provide a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have 2 new episodes of Riverdale for you.
We do.
And you know, one could say in some shows you jump the shark, and other shows you get attacked by the bear.
That's right. It's the bear attack, finally. We've been waiting for this for a while.
And I do feel bad. I realize we have built this up, and visually the bear attack is not very exciting.
No.
Conceptually, the bear attack is my favorite thing that happens on this show, because what high school boy, kid, person in general, honestly, human being, survives a grizzly bear attack with a single, chest wound.
And then goes back to high school?
And then goes back to high school to take the SATs.
Yeah.
Also, SATs, you can take, there's not only one day, at least there didn't used to be. Back in my day, you could take the SATs more than once.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're like, Archie has to take the SATs now, I'm like, you could even take it at different schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I took mine at my high school, but there were more in other high schools, and kids from different high schools took them at my high school to, retake them. Did you take the SATs more than once?
I think I was like, that's good. That's good enough.
I took the SATs twice. I got a good score, but I took the SATs twice, and I got the same score both times, but my math and my English flipped. So in one, I got a higher in English and the other in math, but literally the same numbers. And so they take your highest from each time you take it. So it technically did boost my score by very little. But it was one of those things where it made me laugh really hard because I was like, oh.
You're like, oh, it actually worked out in my favor.
It worked out. I mean, I wasn't 2100 vibes, you know?
Oh, God, no. Mine wasn't either. Yeah, this is also a different system than the current system for SATs.
What's the numbers now?
Because we're old. I don't know.
And
I just
they
know
had
they reduced the total amount.
Didn't they change them hadn't they had it lower before and then they brought it back up when we were doing it? There's a strange history of the SATs, and that's why you listen to this podcast. I am certain is because you were like, you know what? I want to hear Emily's not well thought out or research thoughts on the U.S. standardized testing and the SATs.
Let's see.
Are you looking this up?
Yes. Sure.
Okay.
Next question. Scaled percentiles. It looks like it's at a 1600 now.
Yeah.
So if you
wasn't it out of 1600 before?
If you go on the Wikipedia page, we were in the percentiles for total scores 2006. And that was through 2016. That was out of 2400.
Yeah, it was out of 2400.
Oh, yeah. In 1984, it was out of 1600.
I think they'd been out of 1600 for a while, and then they changed them. And we had
2006, I guess?
Yeah, and then we had the weird system, literally right when we were in high school. Yeah. And then they got rid of it and went back to the 1600.
I don't know.
Because I remember my school, if you got over 2100, they would pay you back for the cost of you taking the SATs.
That's nice.
So I was close enough that I was really tempted. But I was like, Emily, you're not going to take it 3 times just so you can get them to give you $50 or whatever it was. I don't remember. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but I don't remember how much it was. But I was like, it's not worth your parents will pay for this. It's fine.
I can't remember if I took it a second time and I got a lower score. I might have.
That happens a lot. Yeah. My second one, they almost threw out the test because a kid's phone went off. And I'd gone to junior high with him. I knew who it was.
And you're like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he had quite the salacious past, too. Mm-hmm. He had gotten a girl pregnant.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. That's very salacious.
It was very salacious. And, yeah, there's a lot of strange Catholicism and weird small town drama involved in it. That one of those, his mom wanted her to get an abortion. Dramas, you know?
Yeah.
And then this was in the era of continuation schools. So they sent her away to the continuation school, and it was a whole thing.
Do they not do those anymore?
I don't feel like they do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you had the option to stay at the regular school even when we were in school, but I definitely feel like it was pushed more then. I could be wrong, though. Let me know.
Yeah, exactly. If continuation schools are still a thing, let us know.
I mean, I know they exist. but I don't really know if they send pregnant girls to them anymore.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I no longer think that is like a rationale to kick you out of your regular high school classes.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Also, teenage
Hopefully.
pregnancy rates have gone down. I know in most recent years, this is one of the first times that we've had more women in their 40s give birth than teenagers.
Wow. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, which means that women have the ability and privilege to wait until they're ready to have children and then safely have children, because contrary to the crazy shit we hear, you do not shrivel up and die the moment you turn 30.
No. And we'll see what all this backsliding in our political sphere will have an impact on.
Yeah, I really didn't want to bring teenage pregnancy back.
No.
I just don't think like that's a positive thing to bring to our society when we could do like things like teenage education and I don't know, money for school.
Yeah. I think starting at the very least money for school.
Money for school or like trade work. Like not every teenager has to plan to go to college, but being trained in what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be a way better use of our time and money than taking away women's rights. But I'm
Universal
just
basic income.
I'm just a woman, so what do I know? Brenton is shaking his head for all the listeners.
Yeah. It's rough out there.
It's bad. It's bad out here. But we're here and you're here and we're gonna get through this together. And look at the bright side. At least you're not Archie.
Yeah.
The dumbest boy alive.
Yeah. And it's yeah. Look at me reaping versus me sowing. These are the me sowing episodes.
Definitely.
But also, I don't know. These episodes they're kind of they remind
They're not
me.
good.
No, it's like the parts of Riverdale where it's like, oh right, these are the kinds of episodes where I was like, Riverdale's kind of boring.
This is when we used to drink a lot of wine.
It's like things are happening, but you're like, I don't know. There's not like a lot of impact, and everybody's kind of doing their own separate things. So none of the storylines get like a ton of airtime because we got to cut between all four, and they're all separate things.
Yeah, and
they don't interact.
I'd rather have more of Cheryl and Tony cat burglaring than whatever the fuck is going on here.
Yeah, boy. Actually, yeah. I have things to say about how they set up this first episode of our batch today.
Yeah. Well, it's also the critical reception of this episode was pretty meh because people felt like, because it jumps straight from like, I guess, or is it in between the two? Basically, like it jumps from like being like, yeah, it's between the two of these. Because is this one is mid-season finale and then the next one?
No. So the first one is we're picking up after the break.
Okay.
So this is in the new year. So the last episode where they're like, it's quarantine.
Oh, yeah, you're
That is
right.
the mid-season finale.
I think like there's a gap. Maybe it's between these two episodes that we watched. So this time made people feel like they missed an episode because it's like, Archie's dying. Archie's fine.
Oh, because I was going to say the opposite. Or not opposite, just slightly different. I do feel like we're missing an episode where we show the actual quarantine.
I agree. I think there's a lot missing in these.
Yeah,
I think there was a lot of story to tell that they just didn't tell.
Yeah, they like focused on other things.
And I think that's odd.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they didn't have like the time and space to tell these stories.
Yes. They got 22 episodes.
Uh-huh. And we do other things instead.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe we should just get into it, shall we?
Let's get into it.
No new cast this week, so we just get into the episode. Chapter 44, No Exit, which comes from George Tabori's 1962 American and Argentine dramatic film of the same name. They put in fandom like that it was also Orson Welles's and that he was uncredited as a writer, but I didn't see that pop up on the Wikipedia. So I didn't find anything that corroborated that.
Okay.
But if, I didn't do like a ton of digging on that. So if that is true, let me know. And then it's based on Jean-Paul Sartre. I don't quite know how to say that. Play No Exit, which is three people find themselves trapped in a hotel room. They slowly realize that it's hell.
So The Good Place.
Yeah. But it's without the twist. I think it's fairly upfront that they're in hell, and then it's like them like trying to figure out, like going through their backstory and their lives of like how they ended up in hell, and like trying to figure out, are they being tortured? What is the torture? And all this sort of stuff. I'm like, it sounds interesting.
Honestly, that would have been way more interesting than these episodes.
I get that applies to like Archie's storyline.
Well, I think it's saying how all of them feel trapped.
Yeah.
Like, I think the message on No Exit is that, like, you're in the corner. But then, like, the episode kind of is, like, flipping the switch on that. So by the end of the episode, you're no longer trapped.
Yeah.
It's not playing with the despair long enough.
No. And you would think this would be perfect.
Which is odd coming from me, because I usually like to get through that pretty quickly. But I'm like,
Right. You would think that would be good for a quarantine episode. But... All right. So Archie and Vegas have a nice cabin in Canada, and they're apparently part of like some sort of like Forest Service, like Fire Watch or something.
Does he have like a Canadian work permit?
Maybe they pay him under the table.
Archie working in Canada. Okay, you know what?
And then
doing like Fire Watch, it seems like.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. But my only reference for that is literally the game Firewatch, where you are on a fire watch out in an outpost. So I don't know what other sorts of forestry, like watch services there are. But
that's what Grandma and Grandpa's daughter did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know she was in the...
like the forestry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. But apparently crime is increasing at Riverdale. Even cat burglaries. Done by Tony and Cheryl.
Which I am obsessed with.
It's great.
I think anytime you give those girlies an option to put on a leather outfit and climb through a window, it's a good time.
Mm-hmm. And then they apparently stole a bunch of cash and jewels. And then, yeah, quarantine has been lifted. Huh? At school, Moose and Kevin enforce rules that kids aren't allowed to touch because of the pandemic or whatever was going on at the school, which we kind of quickly drop. And Cheryl and Tony put them in their place. This is the start of putting Kevin in a very strange situation. There's nothing really more on this, I think, to say this week, but keep an eye on how they position Kevin from now on.
It's a choice.
Mm-hmm. Le Bon Oui is now a happening place and a haven for kids in town. See, kids just need a third place.
Except that they're serving alcohol. She's compromised her morals a bit. Because apparently the quarantine has made us all decide we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Weird.
And we don't get Pop's perspective on this either.
He's down there helping.
Pop was?
Yeah, he was helping her with the books.
Okay. Interesting.
Veronica? He edited her books. Or was
Pop does?
Pop hands her the books or whatever.
Oh.
So I don't know if he edited them. I guess that's me like but he was aware.
Right. Maybe she didn't tell him that she was cooking the books.
I think he looked at them.
And was probably like, well, I mean, it's not his business.
I think she included both of them.
Oh, okay. So Pop is complicit.
I don't know.
I don't know. Veronica and Reggie are raking in cash, but like you said, they sell alcohol now. Betty wakes up to screaming in her house, and Jughead wakes up next to her, wondering what that was. We see that the kids from the sisters are staying in their living room. Betty comforts them, and they ask to play G&G, and she agrees, but finds Fizzle Rocks under the game board, and the other kids immediately rat out Tyler for taking them, and Betty asks where he got them. The thing I've noticed that I didn't pick up last time too, it's like that they're literally branded. It's like, oh, I wonder what the drug is. It's like, oh, it's got its own little like
Fizzle
packaging.
Rocks. Yeah.
Betty tells Jughead supposedly a serpent sold it to him, and Jughead wonders what Hiram's game was with quarantine. Yeah, I'm wondering that too. Betty is working with Sierra McCoy to try and get his crimes with the sisters to stick. Archie speaks to another woman over shortwave radio. He's on some sort of watch service, and she warns him of bear sightings. Reggie drives an old but in great condition truck down the road. Was one of his tires pops, which makes me ask, what is the... They've got a really big budget for like restoring old cars on here.
The old car budget on this show is insane.
It's a beautiful delivery truck. He gets out to inspect, and the Gargoyle Gang jumps out and attacks him because Veronica needs to pay what she owes, quote unquote. Later, Veronica takes care of Reggie, and she tells him that Hiram wants 10% of their business, but she wants to present Hiram cooked books and offer him 5%. Vegas and Archie stroll through the woods when they spot some bear prints in the ground, and then Archie turns around and is seemingly attacked. Cut to the intro. He struggles back to the cabin and asks for help over the radio for his injuries. The radio cuts out before she can give him instructions and does say help is on the way. Archie puts bandages on his wound and lies down while Vegas guards him. Alice tells Betty...
Vegas completely unscathed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy that Vegas made it out of there, but like, huh?
I'm very confused by this grizzly bear attack.
Yeah. Sorry, not Archie. Alice tells Betty.
I also okay, this is really stupid of me, but like, so we live in California, so we know of the grizzly bears, you know.
Yes,
I know of grizzly bears. In my head, there aren't grizzly bears that aren't in California.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is so stupid because like I don't even know if we technically still have grizzly bears or if we just have brown bears. But in my little pea brain, I was like, they're in Canada, as if like the bears care about the borders.
Well, they're not on the flag up there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, that's like California grizzly bear, which I think is different than a regular grizzly bear.
I've
looked into this
to me, right?
So
it's like they're brown. They're technically brown bears.
They're technically
right?
brown bears. Yeah, this is not important information for the show, but it was me.
Maybe that's what one of the puppets on Sesame Park, or Muppets, I should say. Puppets, were made after whatever this bear was in Canada.
The California grizzly bear is also known as the California ground bear, the California golden bear, and it's an extinct population of brown bear.
Oh, it's extinct?
I believe so, but it's also known as the grizzly bear, and along with other North American brown bear populations.
Okay.
So it's a type of grizzly.
I see. So there are other brown bears out there in North America that are, and grizzlies is like a subset of brown bear?
I guess so.
Okay.
Or yeah, I think so.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I think the brown bear is like the big one, and then like the polar bear. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's not the same. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got like in terms of bear categories, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I was like, oh, am I wrong? I mean, I was wrong, but I was just like, there's no grizzly bears that's not here. Once again,
what are they doing in Canada?
Like, as if I'm like a bear expert. Like, it was just one of those moments that made me go, oh my God, you're very dumb and very sheltered.
Very funny. We just don't know bear facts.
But you'd think I would. I know grizzly bears.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't expect you to come prepared with bear facts.
It's a subgenre of the brown bear is the grizzly bear. But it is, it looks different than the... You know what's interesting is there aren't a lot of them on that eastern side of the map.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm not saying they're not there. They might very well be.
Seems like on the map we're looking at, it's all kind of mostly in Canada, West Coast.
Yeah. But I said,
filmed in Vancouver, but so got a real bear from the woods.
I don't go bear watching. I don't, it's not a thing I do, but it did make me laugh.
Alice tells Betty that the farm can shelter all the kids, but Betty's like, no. Alice tells her they're your responsibility then, so you have to walk them and feed them and clean up their poop. Betty meets with Sierra, and the sisters aren't playing ball, and have taken a vow of silence, and Betty's testimony won't work because they were doping her, so her view could be construed by the other legal counsel. Hiram meets with Veronica, and she tells him she needs protection. She tries to play it coy that the business has been struggling, but Hiram has been watching her, and they agree on 10%, and Hiram eyes Josie as she sings. Jughead tells the serpents that they can't sell or do drugs anymore, and there's no more crime doing, everybody. And then they all look at him and they go, but Black Dynamite, we sell drugs in the community. Cheryl gets in his face for... They're a gang. This is a ridiculous ask.
Okay, but also the white boy is standing there telling all of these other people who do not have the same privilege and trailer that he has, because his trailer survived while they're living in tents. And he's like... well, you shouldn't be selling drugs. Okay, Jughead, and Hiram Lodge shouldn't be making them. But here we are, and this is the world we live in, so what are you going to do about it?
I know, scold Jones.
Yeah, I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, get off your high horse.
Yeah.
Shale gets in his face for running off and lecturing them on responsibility. Snaps all around.
10 out of 10.
Fangs says, we've got no money. How do we survive? Fangs is... so weak in these episodes. He's just, I'm a gentle baby boy. I don't know how to live in the world. FP says, well, we'll figure it out. Josie heads home. That's not an answer. Josie heads home and finds the Gargoyle gang waiting outside her door, but she's able to get inside. And Veronica and Reggie meet her later, and Josie's like, I want out. Evelyn and Polly are at the Coopers to take the kids to the farm, and Betty comes home and is pissed and is like, don't trust these two. And Polly and Evelyn pull up some shit up to drag Betty and ruin her credibility in front of all her children. FP and Jughead grill.
Well, once again, this is fucking wild because this is a child whose mother has told her she's responsible for all these other children.
Mm-hmm.
The same mother that sent her to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
The show suspends belief, and obviously Archie and the Bear is the strongest, and we can go with that. But this is a close second for me because I'm like, what the fuck?
Alice is absolutely diabolical.
Alice not only is diabolical, she's nonsensical.
She wants to get him to the farm. That's what she's trying to do.
Well, yeah, but just in general, everything Alice does doesn't make any fucking sense. Every day, Alice shows up as a different fucking person.
Like when she shows up to pick Betty up, it's like, the town's got to shit. Get in.
Yeah, and it's like, well, why?
I was coming to get you out of the Sisters. FP and Jughead grill Fangs, who's been selling the drugs. He says he needs it for his mom's medical bills. Jughead says breaking the code is immediate exile, but we can look the other way if you don't say anything. And Fangs is like, oh, okay, thank you. Cheryl and Tony break into the lodges and steal a Glamorget egg.
I love this instead of a Fabergé egg.
It's so good. Before they leave, Cheryl eyes one more thing. Archie wakes up and finds Cassidy and the boys alive and asks him to play G&G.
No, they're not alive. They have bullet holes in their head.
Right. He's having a vision.
He's having a bad dream.
They say he has to win if he wants to return to Eldever. Betty meets with a caseworker.
Eldever is an anagram for Riverdale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riverdale spelled backwards.
Oh.
Betty meets with a
They
case.
tell us this in one of the episodes, don't they? I
think I said this.
Yeah.
Betty meets with a caseworker and she mentions it'll be tough for the kids to be adopted. She also tells Betty about the sisters' affiliation with the church? ? Veronica meets with Hiram and he says, I went after Josie because you tried to deceive me. Also, Cheryl stole your mom's Glamorget egg and you have to get it back. Because he points to the painting and she left a kiss mark. Veronica goes to Jughead to get it fixed.
You know what's crazy about that? Sorry, is that Hiram is like, well, Cheryl, one of your responsibilities, Jughead. And you're like, this girl got a red leather jacket like 4 weeks ago.
Right. It's one of your people.
I'm like, that's not Jughead's it's Cheryl Blossom. What do you mean that's Jughead's response? You can't control Cheryl Blossom.
Exactly. You think Jughead's going to do this? Jughead asks her to hire the serpents for protection, and Veronica says yes, but asks for the egg back. Archie draws a card to face the hooded specter of death and goes outside to face it. He finds himself back in Pops the moment Fred got shot. Archie then runs full speed at the Black Hood, and it seems like he shoots the Black Hood. Archie is then escorted back into the Black Cabin and finds Warden Norton there instead of the boys, and he tells Archie he has to find the moment where it all went wrong and fix it. The guy who plays Warden Norton doing a tremendous job this week.
Mm-hmm.
Betty and Sierra visit Sister Woodhouse armed with information that the church broke ranks with them and disbanded them for their practices over 60 years ago. Sierra says, you're screwed in court then. Woodhouse agrees to talk and testify against Hiram. Jughead breaks the news that the serpents will run security at La Bon Wee. He calls Cheryl and Tony up because they stole the Glamorget egg and tells them to turn in their jackets and go. Sexist. Cheryl calls him out for allowing Fangs to stay, and Tony says, I know about this because he told Sweet Me you told me. These boys running their mouth. Jughead then says, you're right. Fangs, give me your jacket. And then Fangs drops his jacket in front of him and says, some leader you are. And Jughead wants the egg back, and Cheryl reluctantly agrees when Jughead invokes the plight of the other serpents. Jughead delivers it to Veronica, and she has the first assignment for the serpents. Tyler, one of the kids the kid who got ratted out for taking fizzle rocks.
Also, so did he? But he wasn't with the girlies before.
No, so they must have been playing G&G in the
conversion wing too.
Mm-hmm.
But Cheryl, it wasn't there when Cheryl was there.
No.
But G&G's been a thing for years and years and years.
Exactly, it's been a practice of theirs for a long time now.
I'm confused.
Uh-huh. Yep.
This is more confusing than my thoughts on bears.
Tyler says Betty is a liar because he saw the Gargoyle King in Fox Forest and then he got beaten up by his goons. To which question is, why were you in Fox Forest?
Yeah, when were you in Fox Forest?
Uh-huh. The rest of the kids are concerned for their safety and ask where they'll be safe.
Where are their families?
Where are their families? They were just left at the sister's door, apparently.
Yeah, like, are they orphans? Is that like the narrative? Because that doesn't make any sense.
They don't call... I think do they call them orphans? They
Yeah, I
might
think
call them
so.
orphans.
So maybe some of the kids there didn't have families anymore?
I guess. But it
left.
seems like they're all just like sheep following like Betty.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. Archie draws a card that says kill the Gargoyle King, but then reads it again and it says kill the man in black. Warden Norden says he has his marching orders. Archie steps outside and into the lodge penthouse. He finds Hiram sipping rum on the couch. Turns out it's the night before Archie got arrested. Archie has a knife in his hand and he stabs Hiram. Archie comes back to the cabin with the knife and finds Betty, Jughead, and Veronica there, and Betty says there's one less round to play. Hiram drinks his rum in real life and finds the Glamourget egg crushed on his desk with a note from Veronica that says no deal. Betty goes to Nana Rose, Cheryl, Fred, and Sierra to ask if they can house some of the kids, and they all agree to help. FP tells Jughead to be wary of working with the lodges and wants Jughead to involve him more. Reggie drives his truck and finds a spike strip in the road, so he stops and gets out and waits for the Gargoyle Gang to come and beat him up, and then Gargoyle Gang steps out and he leads them around to the back, and the serpents junk out, and then they knock one gargoyle to the ground, and the other gargoyles are like, and run away, and they pick him up, and Jughead sends the gargoyle back with a message for Hiram that says the serpents are protecting Le Bon Oui now. Betty comes home and finds all the kids gone. She asks Alice, and she's like, I called Edgar, and you just missed them. They're all at the farm up north. Archie plays the last round and goes outside to find he's in his room. He sees himself sleeping, and Archie has a bat in his hand, and Fred tells him he doesn't have to do this, and Archie says he's the one who got me into this, and Fred tells him he's not the villain he thinks he is, and Archie says he has to destroy the part of him that's weak and stupid, and proceeds to beat himself up with a bat.
And it's the strangest music plays.
I actually didn't notice this.
I wrote under Archie has to kill himself, what is this music? So the strangest music plays.
Fair enough.
It's like real weird. It's not like weird like if you heard it in like an ambient setting, I feel like, but it's like, I don't know.
It's just something odd.
I feel like it was like a weird offshoot of a taiko-like style of music, if I remember correctly. I could be very wrong. Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Veronica takes the stage at Le Bon Oui, and Reggie is enchanted. Later that night, the two of them are alone, and sparks fly, and they hook up. Jughead and FP want to give Fangs another chance if he goes undercover in the Gargoyle Gang, and Fangs like, yes, thank you so much. Don't take this deal. They just took away your jacket. Have some backbone. Betty gets a call from Sierra that all the sisters are gone because an anonymous donor posted their bail. The sisters left a message on the wall, like written in like red. It's like blood that says that we go to join thee. And Betty's like, uh-oh, I think I know where they went. Betty goes back to the sisters, the actual place, not the, people, and finds they killed themselves in front of the gargoyle statues. They all have blue lips. The Forest Service finally arrived to help Archie, but
Where's
looks
everyone
like
getting
he's
all
dead.
this cyanide?
It's just around. Your local Home Depot.
I guess I don't really know how one acquires it.
I don't either.
We don't need to, but I'm not going to Google it.
No, I think I'm fine.
My watch. I'm probably already on a watch list from my Googling alone, just from writing, so I don't need to add anything else to that. Where do I
Cyanide.
buy cyanide?
Wee.
I know.
I don't know. Anyways,
Well,
that's it.
okay.
Okay, on to the next.
So at this point now, the kids are more adult than the adults are, and they truly like Jughead's running a gang, and his dad's like, "Put me in, coach," and you're like, "You're the adult."
Please put me in.
Conversely, also FP's like, "Oh, Fangs, you should have told me when Jughead wasn't here," and I was like, "Weren't you both locked out of the town during the quarantine?
Mm-hmm.
Was it before the quarantine? I don't know. I don't know the timeline." And
it seemed like only quarantine was like a couple days.
Yeah, I don't really know.
So I guess when they're mad at Jughead, it's like, you're not around anymore and taking charge of this. You've been doing other things.
I don't really understand.
You're letting us live in tents, I think is the main thing. It's like you have not like
solved our problem.
Mm-hmm, figured out a way for us to make money. So we're going to go make money elsewhere because we're a gang.
Mm-hmm.
We're outside the law.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is no law anymore.
That's right.
We don't have a sheriff. Okay. So I thought this episode we'd go character by character to really dissect.
Yeah, that works. Mm-hmm.
So Archie is attacked by a bear.
Yes, he is.
Kill how many times I say Archie's attacked by a bear. Just wait. And then he has a hallucination as a way of coping with his past using the game of Griffins and Gargoyles, which he's never played.
No, he's never played.
So he doesn't actually know how the game works, does he? Unless Jughead was explaining it to him on their long walk.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah. You know, Archie, it's actually a really cool game.
Like, let's play.
It facilitates like storytelling with the people there. And this one it's even better. It's addictive.
Yeah, and what happened to everyone just playing Griffins and Gargoyles in the town?
It's gone.
Like, I was like, what happened to Jughead and Cheryl and Tony and their little game nights?
Nobody else was affected by that.
It's so strange. So
it was just like a game for everybody else. Jughead was the only one obsessed. Everybody's like, yeah, it was fun.
Fun. Well, no, they wanted to take it off the board. They wanted to have real quests. There was some real drama, and then you had
That's
Cheryl shoot the can on Jughead's head.
Uh-huh.
There we got. But it's interesting. The show picks things up and puts them down so quickly that you forget that it was ever in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Sort of like another show we covered.
It is, except that I've always said Pretty Little Liars walked so Riverdale could run, and it truly is like light speed running. Pretty Little Liars, I think, to be honest, they just kind of lost the plot at certain points.
Yeah,
like absolutely. It was like when you're telling a story and you kind of forget why you're telling it, but you're still talking, and so you're just going to keep talking until you hopefully remember why you're telling this story in particular in this moment. And you just keep going and going and going. And I think that's what Pretty Little Liars does. And then they're like, oh, wait, and Garrett's in a box with Aria. But
they just kept feeding it. They're like, we need more cliffhangers.
Yeah, and there's then never any solid ground. So you're like, wow, this is a really tall mountain range that I didn't know I was on. I thought we were on a beach. But this show is like, just like, it's like somehow like running sprints for an entire marathon in quicksand. You're just like,
that's true. We're in a hurry going nowhere.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings, but
But I mean, like, Archie has it. He's dealing with the exact same problem that we started this season that was extending from the second season.
That really extends from the first season. Archie has never felt good about who Archie is. Mm-hmm. Archie just needs some fucking therapy.
He does.
And a good therapist.
Absolutely. He's trying to do it all on his own and getting the wrong answers.
Not what's her name from Pretty Little Liars, because she came back and we found out she was not a good therapist.
Oh, God. What was her name?
Oh, Dr. Sullivan.
Thank you.
No Dr. Sullivan for Archie.
No.
So...
But yeah, like, he comes to this conclusion that he needs to, like, kill the old part of himself.
You kill his past.
Yeah. And then he's going to start...
Why can't the past just die?
Yeah. I think just to, like, start fresh is what he's trying to do because he, like, knows more now. I don't really quite follow what we're trying to, like, pull there.
I think it's him working through all of his regrets. And so his regrets are that he couldn't save his dad from the Black Hood, that he couldn't get out of what he had to do in the jail with Warden Norton and everyone else, and the Cassidy stuff. And it's all of Archie's guilt. It's very Catholic. Yeah. He's having a very big, like, self-confession moment while he's dying. And it's like, instead of his life flashing before his eyes in a positive way while he's dying, he's like, what if I relived all of my worst moments?
Exactly.
And then, like, tried to fix them, but by doing that, became a worse person.
Yeah.
Because he comes out of this a worse person.
Yes, he does.
And he's so fucking annoying. And that's really saying something because he was already so fucking annoying, which is so funny because KJ Apa seems very charming and, like, plays Archie in a very charming way most of the time. But you're like, God, this character's so fucking annoying. Like, that really takes some work. He's so fucking annoying. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about this. It's like he's got to kill his past and he tried to run away from his life. And so now he's facing his life.
That's what or at least that's what he thinks he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's not processing any of it.
No, he's just rewriting it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I wouldn't let that happen that way now.
Uh-huh.
It's the same way people, when they hear, like, something bad happen to someone, they're like, well, that wouldn't happen to me. I wouldn't let it happen. And I'm like, right? You dumb motherfucker. You don't know what you would do when someone put you in that scenario. Right. Don't act like you're so tough.
Yeah, I would take down the killer.
You know, I'm like,
which is exactly, it's like acting out those male fantasies.
Yeah. Like, oh, I wouldn't let that happen. And I'm like, Yeah, you would.
And we still haven't gotten around. We're still dealing with the same question of like, he feels like he's the problem, he's the villain. And I'm like,
I'm bored of Archie.
Yeah, I'm bored of it. We need to like, it's him start to process some of it and move on to the next part of like figuring out how to make amends. I think that'd be more interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when you have a friend who like keeps going back to the same either like relationship or the same patterns over and over again. And like they don't like the patterns and they know they don't like the patterns, but they won't acknowledge that. It's one thing when they're trying and they're having a hard time trying. I support that. But when you're like not even trying, you're just like, yeah, this is bad. Well,
that's just how it is.
That's just I'll just get tougher. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Go to therapy. It's expensive though, and I understand if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
And whatever you do, don't use AI for therapy.
Oh, good God, no.
I've seen that online, and that seems like a bad idea.
That's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe
you need to talk to a human with that stuff.
I think that stuff is a human. It's a human conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
were we gonna move on from Archie?
Yeah, I was gonna move to Betty.
Yeah, the last piece. I just find it funny that he's like, "I'm a man. I'm gonna go to the woods. I'm gonna live off the land," and he gets attacked by the grizzly bear, and he's like, "Woods had hands. I gotta get home."
I want to go back home. It's so funny.
It's really funny.
Okay, Betty is a mother now.
That's right.
And
a single mom who works 2 jobs, loves all her children, and never stops.
And yet she's like the only one like trying to like do anything. Betty is trying to get the sisters prosecuted. She's trying to get Hiram in legal trouble. Like she's doing what Jughead wants to be doing. And I know they're like working together, but she's actually doing something.
But they aren't.
No.
He's not helping her at all. He's like, I need to go scold the serpents, act like a leader. Uh-oh, I'll get in trouble for that. And then not help. So, like, they're all so separated that, like, it's like they're not even dating. So because they're so separated, in the next episode, she then confides in her serial killer father instead of talking to Jughead.
Yes. Oh, don't get me started about this stupid serial killer dad shit.
But I digress.
So she's got the kids from the Quiet Mercy. The farm takes them. The farm people are fucking crazy. Polly's there. You're just like, okay, we had to give her a cameo, I guess. And little Ever Never. I can't remember her name.
Evelyn.
Thank you. Where's her mom?
I know. I'm very curious about this.
Where's Evelyn's mom?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know
what?
And
does she approve of what Edgar's doing?
Yeah.
Is she in the cult or is she not? I would assume she's not. This is just like, she's like, yeah, my dad got custody of me. And so now, so he didn't have to pay child support. So now I live with my dad in his cult.
Because, supreme divorce dad energy.
Oh, 100%.
He took the divorce so bad that he decided to start a cult.
The farm does take us to one of my favorite moments on the show, though.
Yeah. You wait. You wait. Sorry to build up something else, but you see it on screen.
Yes, this one you will see, and you will go, oh, wow. If you're me, that's what I did the first time. And then I said, is that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
Yeah. That's the vibe. So anyway, Betty has lost her children now. After she tried to get them a home.
Because her mom is actively sabotaging her.
What I truly appreciate about this, though, is Cheryl does not take out Jughead's actions on Betty. She's truly a girl's girl. Because Betty's like, hey, I need help with these kids. And Cheryl's like, of course we'll help. Me and Nana Rose will take in these kids.
Yeah. She should sidebar with him and be like, talk to your boyfriend.
Yeah, can you talk to your boyfriend? I think he's really fucking up this gang. Like, I lead the Vixen, so I would know what it's like to be a leader. And
he doesn't.
So Betty then is like, oh, I think I know where the sisters are. And then she goes alone to find them dead in there. And did she call anyone? Because there's no police. Or did she just leave the bodies there? What happens?
She's like, yeah.
What happens?
God knows.
So I feel like in terms of Betty, though, not like a lot happens to her per se. It's just like her driving the plot.
Yeah. And like, exactly, doing the Lord's work to try and move this forward. Like, someone has to try and do something against Hiram. And then, of course, it all ends in nothing. Which I think it thematically makes sense.
Yes.
That's not me being like, oh, this show hitting a roadblock. It's like, of course, Hiram would be able to maneuver around this.
Okay, then we'll do Jughead and Veronica, and I'm kind of going to do them together because they tie in together.
Right.
I think they really play with this idea of like the episode you're supposed to start by feeling like they're all trapped and there's a dead end and they can't get out and they're stuck and then they flip the switch on Hiram.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Riverdale has not fallen is like the thing Jughead says, that it's like the big thing that he tells them to tell Hiram or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, this, like, I'm into this, like, a little, you know, like I said, I wish we'd stayed in this world a little bit longer to understand it better, but I get being like, okay,
we're taking it back.
Yeah, so like instead of the show slowly doing like ups and downs of the plot, it's like, what if we did like it's like riding a very fast roller coaster. It's like you thought you were going on like a kiddie coaster and we are at Six Flags.
And we're doing bunny hills.
Little bunny. Yeah, the little bunny hills on a coaster. Yeah. Except that it's like constant. And somehow you ended up upside down. And you're like, I didn't even think this ride had a loop. I don't think there's like a chest bar. I'm confused. It's very, yeah. But Jughead has serpent issues. He's having serpent issues with the gang that he's running as a child. And the number one issue he has is that boys gossip more than girls.
It's really funny.
Boys gossip. And I do like that they do this, that they're like, well, Tony's like, yeah, we know because Sweet Pea told us because Fangs told him. I'm like, okay, first of all, Tony, you've just burnt a couple bridges, but I respect it.
You know, God bless you, because they aren't speaking up for you. They aren't coming to your fence.
Oh,
like,
no.
Oh, okay.
Burn the bridges. And they're going to all come back.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
they always do.
She's a serpent by blood. Also, Jughead, I'm like, no warning system. Just immediate exile.
Yeah.
Also, exile? Like, what do you mean? You're trapped in a town with these people. It's Cheryl fucking Blossom. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And it's
and
so
like the betrayal of Tony.
It is.
It hurts my feelings.
It's because they are stronger than Fangs. Fangs is weak-willed, so they can like bully him around.
Mm-hmm. But
Because
Jughead can't control Cheryl in the same way.
He can't go to Cheryl and be like, go undercover for me. I mean, it's Cheryl.
Well, he could.
Cheryl would never be able to go undercover because everybody knows who Cheryl is. But if she didn't, because she's so like headstrong and stuff, like she wouldn't take that offer. She would be like, that's bullshit.
Or she'd be like, okay, but I'm doing it my way.
Mm-hmm. Or I'm not doing it for you. I want to do it for this reason. Exactly. I'm not doing it so you can let me back in the gang.
But so then he's like, oh, my solution to find everyone work is that we'll be Veronica's security, which I'm like, yeah, this totally makes sense. Checks out. I love this so much. I'm into it. I think this is a great job for the serpents.
It's a way to drop battle lines against the Gargoyle gang.
Exactly. And against Hiram. But then you've got Veronica who's like, she's given into like, well, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta play what we gotta play. And also, you know what? Archie's been gone for a while and Reggie's looking kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
It was those pants.
Oh, it's those pants.
It was the pants.
Checkered pants.
The checkered pants.
I'm
okay with them being together.
Absolutely.
Because Archie's annoying as fuck right now. And Veronica,
and
Veronica may make her mistakes. But I think Veronica needs a man she needs a himbo. Reggie's a himbo.
He's ready to be
right?
there. Yes.
I would say he's a himbo.
Reggie is absolutely, well, yeah. This season, Reggie is a himbo.
Yeah, well.
Previously, he had some wrong ideas.
Yeah, I mean, but as we know on this show, every season you're a new person unless you're Archie. Or Betty. Betty basically stays the same.
Yes.
She grows a little, but she stays the same. Jughead actually like grows.
Yeah.
Jughead's the only person who has any sort of plot development. Do you think that's because he's narrating?
Well, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know if that's intentional, but it's a nice little cover I'm gonna give it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like Reggie and Veronica.
Yeah.
And this is where off screen they were dating at like the beginning of season 3. This is as publicly reported. So God knows
what happened actually.
Exactly. And then a year later, around the start of season 4 is when they were publicly broken up. So
I remember that being a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it makes good chemistry.
Totally. Yeah. So I don't know if like they were dating and then they wrote this plot line, or if the plot line started predating that, because I mean, they were building toward this in earlier stuff of like them kind of like, working together and things. So I don't necessarily think because they started dating that they wrote this. You know what I mean? Because I don't think the timeline would quite make sense with production on this and what's reported publicly, but I don't know.
We're not them.
Exactly.
Well, that's really all I had for this episode. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered it.
Ready for
On
the
to
next one?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, chapter 45, The Stranger. This episode title comes from Albert Camus' 1942 novel of the same name. The story follows Marcel. I know Albert Camus French, so I don't know French. So if I'm getting these pronunciations wrong, sorry.
I don't know French. Really? You don't know French?
No. Marcel, an indifferent settler in French Algeria who, weeks after his mother's funeral, kills an unnamed Arab man in Algiers. The story is divided into two parts, presenting Marcel's first-person narrative before and after the killing. So, a little bit of I know it. So he's a French philosopher. I do know that. And I've heard people invoke his name before, but I've never read any of his works.
I feel like I've heard about this, but I don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? People have referenced it and I'm like, this is not a reference point I have to relate to.
Me neither. Yeah, I did not take I took one philosophy class. So
I took one as well, but it was intro to philosophy.
Same. Because I'm assuming, at least relating to this, is Archie coming back and you come back a stranger to your town after coming back home. You become a stranger because of what you've been through.
Well, and in this case, the person he killed was himself.
That's right. And then we see Archie is alive. What a shock. Jughead says the old Archie Andrews was dead, though.
Very Taylor Swift. What came
That's
first, right. Reputation or this episode? Reputation.
Yeah. By 2 or 3 years.
So Jughead was like, "Oh, the old Archie can't come to the phone. Why? Because he's dead."
I don't think they don't have it. They don't want to spend that sort of money on.
Could you imagine if they had?
that would
Look
be
what you just made me do. That
would be season 1 Riverdale.
Yeah.
12 episodes, you could swing your budget a little bit more.
Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think The Summer I Turned Pretty uses all Taylor Swift songs, a bunch of them.
But how many episodes is that?
I don't know. It's on Netflix.
So probably, I would assume 8 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. That shorter episode count. It's ooh, where are we going to put some of this budget?
Yeah.
And he's returning to Riverdale a stranger, like the episode title. He arrives back home to Fred. He said he woke up in the hospital and knew he had to come home.
I bet he didn't have any bills because he was in Canada.
That's true. They just get to let him leave.
I don't know if that works if you're not from Canada. I don't know how their healthcare system works, but better than ours. That's what I know.
Mm-hmm. Here's the ambulance bill for you, Archie, and here's your stay at the hospital.
Oh, and sorry, did you look at the disposable cup on your table, but you didn't touch it? Well, that'll be $60.
And the Jell-O was $50.
What I've been told is if you're ever in a long hospital stay, always ask for an itemized receipt because then you're like, wait a minute.
You charged me for what?
Yeah, the Q-tip I didn't use? What do you mean? Yeah. I've never had to apply that. I don't know how well it works, but just a tip. Hot tip. Try it. What's the worst going to happen? They get annoyed that you ask for a receipt? Well, that's their job to give you the receipt.
That's right. You're getting out of the hospital.
Yeah. You can ask for whatever you want.
That's right. Fred and Archie both agree they can't live in fear of Hiram anymore.
Why does no one just leave this town?
Well, Archie tried.
Yeah, but I meant just move to a different city.
Right.
I didn't mean go to the woods.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand Fred being we got to fight for the town.
Yeah, I do too. And that is how I feel about our country. But I'm not against a local man who hates me, who's part of the mafia and starting a board game gang.
Yeah.
Amongst many other things.
Because you could think that Archie, if he wanted to fight Hiram, which he didn't for a while, he was running, was you could set up shop close by and that's your base.
Yeah. Or in the bunker.
Yeah, right, exactly. But no, he didn't want to stay in the bunker. He's like, I got to get away from everything.
Archie bunker?
Oh, yeah, this boy.
I was like, if he doesn't catch that now, it's going to be one of those things. Sometimes when Brenton's editing, he'll catch that I said something and he'll be laughing. He's like, I didn't hear you at all when he said that.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm speeding ahead to the next thought in my brain.
Well, when you've got your headphones on, if I'm quiet in the microphone, I don't know if you can hear it that well. You're no, I can hear it fine. It's just fine. I'm just not listening.
It's the processing.
The computer's on low battery.
Yeah. It's like one of those old dial-ups, so it's like screeching.
Can't have any thoughts around this.
That's right. Archie visits Veronica at La Bonne, just appearing in the doorway and going, I'm back. And they embrace. She's also angry that he never called her. Very
Me
much so.
too.
Archie apologizes to her, and she says she's happy he's home and safe, and they hook up. The main four all catch up at Pop's. Apparently, Pop's was only just reopened after the quarantine. Okay. They all catch Archie up on what's been happening. I hate this. It's just really annoying that we never get to see the quarantine. I'll stop saying it after this because they keep mentioning it as if it's this thing. And it's like, but you didn't, it's not a thing. I guess it'll be a thing maybe in the future. And they all catch Archie up on what's been happening, which is a lot. Jughead tells them all that Fangs is undercover. Why would you tell everybody this? Okay, guys, I've got a fun secret.
Because boys can't help but fucking gossip.
Yes. Archie finds out he's way behind at school.
And don't get me wrong, I love gossip. This is,
Well, yeah, exactly.
Tell me.
But I understand your point of being angry about the boys being gossip because boys traditionally have always been like, girls are so gossipy.
And it's like, oh, you mean we told each other the bad thing you did to me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds like accountability, but what do I know? I'm just a little girl.
And 8 years ago, when we were talking about quote unquote locker room talk, what do you think that is?
Yeah.
The worst version of gossip.
Mm-hmm.
He's way behind at school, and the SAT is coming up. Betty finds her accounts have been drained. Jesus. She accosts her mother, and Alice is like, well, all your accounts have been wired as a donation to the farm.
A tax-deductible donation.
Yes, to help support the children. Well, aren't all donations tax-deductible?
I think it depends on, like, if it's technically, like, a real charity.
Right. And I'm assuming
Real,
that they're
yeah.
because they're... Wait, are they a religion or a nonprofit? Religion, then it would be... Yeah, I don't know. And then they were all to help support the children that got transported up there against Betty's will. This also includes her college tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Fred and FP visit Hiram, and Fred tells him to stay away from Archie or he'll kill him. And the two dads take their leave. I love this.
FP just looks so happy to be there.
Yeah, FP's just fun. Yeah, as he said, when Fred leaves, FP just smiles like, attaboy.
That's my boy.
Archie meets with Principal Weatherby, who warns him to have realistic goals for coming back to school. And he's like, I think maybe you should repeat junior year. Reggie sees Veronica at school and goes to kiss her, and she pulls away, and it's like, Archie's back. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, we have to end things. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And then Betty visits Sierra to see if she has any recourse for getting her money back. Apparently, Hal has to also sign off on the transferring funds, and he did. And Betty looks at it, it's like, that's not his real signature. I used to forge his real signature all the time, so I'd know. And then Sierra says, well, we need his signature then to say that he didn't agree to transfer the funds. And she's like, crap. Hiram, Claudius, and Penelope meet, and there's bidding over the sisters' land. And Hiram says, I have plans for that, but I want you, Claudius, to be our new sheriff. Claudius is like, I don't really want to be sheriff. And Hiram's like, it's not a request. Jughead, Betty, and Archie study for the SATs. Jughead gets a text to meet Fangs. He leaves the two to continue studying, and Archie worries it's all hopeless, and she asks him to trust her as she's going to help him figure this out. Jughead meets with Fangs, and Fangs is being invited into the Gargoyle King's inner circle, and the ceremony's tomorrow night, and he'll be there. The Gargoyle King, that is. Jughead tells him to go, but that Fangs will have backup. Betty dyes Archie's hair back to normal, and then she takes him to Le Bon Wee for a surprise party. Veronica welcomes him to a study/welcome home party. Veronica sings to Archie, and he has PTSD flashbacks of like all the things he saw in his dream, and he storms out. Betty visits Hal at the Hannibal Lecter Center for Aristocratic Murderers. She confirms he didn't sign the transfer funds and tells him she needs a signature. And he's like, Betty, I've been reading up on this Gargoyle King. Excuse me, that really messed with my throat there. And says he can help her catch the king. He asks for a copy of the G&G manual and he'll sign. This is just straight Hannibal Lecter stuff. Reggie tells Veronica it's not because like I think in Silence of the Lambs she like delivers things about Buffalo Bill to him to like help figure it out. Mm-hmm. Reggie tells Veronica it's not cool of Archie to take off like that, and Archie's like all different since he came back.
But do you want to know the number one way Archie was different? When they were first having their milkshakes, he got a root beer float.
And they're like, Archie, you got a root beer float. And he's like, I just don't feel like a milkshake.
And they're like, oh, he really is different.
Mm-hmm. What if it's The Guest? I still think about that movie every time this comes. I don't know why Riverdale makes me think of that movie. And then Veronica agrees, but wants Reggie to give Archie some time. Reggie then gets in Archie's face in the locker room, and then he sees the bear scars, and he's like, damn, if you got attacked by a bear, no wonder you're messed up. Archie and Reggie immediately backing down, like, Jesus.
He's like, oh, yeah, you're fucked.
I have a lot of anger at like you like taking up the spot in Veronica's love life now that you're back, but like God.
And I have toxic relationships because I was raised by a toxic man. So like my life probably isn't like, you know,
which we're not addressing at all.
No, but
Hiram tells Hermione he bought the Sisters of Quiet Mercy to be their stronghold.
I brought us a haunted nunnery, honey.
No,
Nothing's more romantic than a haunted nunnery.
A group of nuns killed themselves there recently. Isn't that nice? Yeah. And that she needs to appoint Claudius to sheriff. Hermione says, no, people will talk. And also learn. And we also learned that Hermione doesn't know what other businesses Hiram is in. Hiram says she needs to make this appointment happen quick. Hiram is I'm not capturing it in my notes, but he's very high on his own supply. Like, he's like, I can just do whatever I want now. Betty brings the G&G manual to Hal, and he signs the affidavit. She goes to leave, and he wants to talk to her more. He offers to talk to her about Ascension Night and says he was there. He knew about the Midnight Club and sent the invitations to Ascension Night dressed up as the Gargoyle King and poisoned the chalices. He tried to poison them all because they were all sinners, but accidentally killed Principal Featherhead, who was his first kill ever. We learned that he was the Gargoyle King at that time. As Betty goes to check out, she learns from the guard that supposedly Alice has been coming to every Monday to visit. Interesting. Fred finds Archie acting weird and wants Archie to open up, but Archie says they can talk after the SATs. Fangs goes to join the other gargoyles at the ceremony, and the king is there. Fangs is told to kneel, and then another gargoyle goes to brand him, but then the serpents attack the ceremony, and the gargoyles scatter, and they take the king's mask off. It's Tallboy. They interrogate Tallboy in the bunker, and we learn that Tallboy was the king who broke into the Cooper's house. Apparently, he also killed Joaquin. Tallboy says Hiram would never meet with him unless he has something he really wants. Betty finds her mom all dressed up, and she's interviewing to work for the local news. Betty calls her out on her lies and talks about Hal's confession. She thinks Alice told him everything about the Midnight Club, and Alice is like, I haven't been to visit him since before this G&G mess started. And Betty wonders, who's been visiting him then? Reggie is in
a Bumble ad.
A Bumble advertisement when Archie walks up. Archie says he wants to talk to him about cheating, and Reggie's like, oh my God, she told you? And he's like, you know it's over between us, right? And Archie's like, I thought you'd know a way to like cheat on the SATs. And Reggie's like, oh shit. It's like, but we didn't think you were coming back, bro. They're in a Pearl Harbor situation. I'm talking about the movie, not the attack.
I don't know anything about that movie.
That's the oh God, who did Michael Bay movie where Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck, they're boys, you know? And then one of them is I think it's Josh Hartnett first, is in a relationship with Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
And then they go off to war, but only Ben Affleck comes back.
So then she gets with that one, but then the other one comes back.
Yeah, and what do? Then one flies for some sort of bombing, and this has something to do with Pearl Harbor. It's kind of like they tried to do a Titanic again. It was just as long. It was very long.
So is it the one she picks that then dies? Because that seems about right for those types of movies.
I think so. I think Ben Affleck is the one who goes on the last bombing run or something, and I think he dies. I mean, remember. It's
personally,
been a long time.
I would have kept them both.
And then there's also yeah, exactly. Why choose?
Why choose?
And then they're already like sort of in love with each other anyway.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also a small thread following Cuba Gooding Jr., who's the black cook on a ship who fires guns at the planes. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Get your little look at
war movies.
Yeah, but it's just like black people were there and helped too.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But he's like I think the only black character.
You know, when did this come out?
Like 2001.
Okay, yeah, that feels about right. That feels about right.
My sister loved this movie. I've seen it a lot. Jughead breaks the news to Archie about Tallboy, and he thinks there's a chance to take down Hiram by offering Archie his bait. And Archie's like, I'm in. Tallboy calls Hiram under duress, and Hiram agrees to meet. Betty calls the jail to ask about Alice visiting and asks what Alice looks like. Betty then meets with her Aunt Penelope again at Pop's and calls her out on visiting Hal and asks why. And Penelope's like, for conjugal visits, of course. And apparently she's the one who told Hal everything about Ascension Night. So we know that Hal was just lying to Betty. Betty goes back to Hal and says, why would you lie to me about being there and being the Gargoyle King? And he's like, think about this, Betty. And it's like, to keep me coming. Oops, as I excitedly hit the microphone. Apologies. Hal's like, Betty's like, to keep me coming back here. And Hal's like, I missed our chats, Betty. And Betty's like, I'll never be back again. And he's like, you said that before. A black car drives to meet the Gargoyle King, and we see it's Claudius who gets out of the car. Claudius doesn't talk, and it's actually a setup, and so it's FP under the mask, and then they capture Claudius, and Claudius doesn't talk, and FP's like, well, I'm making a citizen's arrest.
This is foreshadowing.
Yes, it is. Archie comes home and finds Veronica sad in his room. She's like, I was pissed at you for not fighting to stay with me here and leaving. It's like she doesn't feel the same way about him since he's been back, and he asked to finish the conversation tomorrow, and they have one more night together, a Q-sex scene. SAT time. Archie has a tough time when he breaks his pencil and leaves. Veronica goes to follow, but the proctor is like...
Me, when it's like if one more thing goes wrong.
God. But the proctor's like, if you follow Archie out that door, you get an automatic 0. Archie goes to the boys' room and has visions of Hiram and of his dreams and Hiram, and then punches the mirror. Hiram talks on the phone about being one step ahead of everyone when he's ironically shot in the chest. It's like, this is a great scene. He's like, ha ha ha, no one can touch me. Bam. Betty finds Evelyn, Alice, and some farm people enjoying a refreshing glass of raw milk.
Raw milk.
Uh-huh.
That's horrible. If you...
Finger on the pulse of this...
Yeah, the trad wife, he really saw... I wasn't paying close enough attention. I wasn't on the wrong corners of the internet. Yeah. Or the right, I guess, depending on how you...
This was definitely bubbling up at the time.
It was, but
especially around I feel like this is like when Shailene Woodley was like really like
out there
prominent.
like sunning her vagina.
Yes.
Which I'm like, I mean, I would put sunblock. I wouldn't put sunblock. I would cover my vagina personally outside because I burnt my side of my neck, just one side, the other day outside having sunscreen on. So like, as someone of my skin tone. Sunscreen is important. Also, I don't want melanoma. And you know where I really don't want melanoma? On my vagina.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That sounds uncomfortable.
It sounds very uncomfortable to have like a melanoma removed from anywhere, but especially there. Yeah. So, I mean, you do you. If I could totally get like, you got a backyard, you want to get a little sun for a few minutes, but I would keep it short and brief. I mean, I'm no doctor, but personally, I would not.
Put some sunblock on.
Yeah. Cover the important parts too, maybe just to not burn them.
Yeah.
It hurts being burnt, Mm-hmm. And I imagine areas like that especially would hurt. Like I've burnt my butt cheeks before, and that was pretty bad because they don't always get a lot of sunlight. And so sometimes, a little too cheeky on the bathing suit. Next thing you know, you gotta...
It's uncomfortable
to sit. And then you can't sit.
Yeah.
And it's just not good. Be careful.
The farm says they also bought the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. Interesting. The farm is now all moving to that location in Riverdale. So, connection to Hiram.
So, did they buy it from Hiram?
Archie rushes to the hospital and finds Veronica there outside Hiram's room. Veronica asks if Archie shot Hiram, and Archie's like, the fact that you could even ask me that means it's over, isn't it? And Veronica stays silent, and Archie leaves. Jughead comes back to the bunker, and Archie's like, I wish. Jughead comes back to the bunker and finds Fangs shot Tallboy when he tried to escape, and Fangs is like, I don't know what to do, man.
You're in a gang.
Fangs is he's his
mom's sick. He's having a hard time. He's a high school boy.
Yeah.
Imagine
he's
if
the
you
only
were
one that's like age appropriate.
Yeah, imagine if you were, I don't know, Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea does some weird shit that I'm like, that's teenager vibes.
That's true. And the Jughead's like, I know, we'll throw a party. I don't know how this helps anything. Archie opens up to Fred on his trauma and doesn't know how to come back to his life. And Fred says, well, we'll have to keep fighting, Archie. We find that Claudius was killed in his cell. Goodbye, Claudius. We hardly knew ye. I'm so glad you were brought in. Effie gets called in by Hermione, who tells him it's time. They've been talking? Betty visits Hal and vents that he's the only one who knows what Alice is capable of and what she's done, and he acts like a normal dad and talks Betty up. Veronica finds Reggie visiting her at the hospital with flowers and a balloon. She's happy he's there and embraces him. The serpents throw a party while Sweet Pea and Fangs are freaking out over Tallboy being dead. Jughead gives a speech to the crowd to welcome back Fangs. Cops pull up and we learn that FP is the new sheriff? It's actually the wildest thing that's happened this week. Archie boxes in his room and drinks from a small bottle in his room of alcohol. And then Fred comes in and is like, are you going to be okay? And Archie's like, yeah, I just got to keep fighting, Dad. Obviously not okay. The end.
Obviously not okay. The end is how I should end my books.
And they were not okay. Goodbye.
And
kisses.
Okay, so I would like to summarize this episode as you probably have a weird relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
So if you're Jughead, your dad's now the sheriff, but you're the leader of his biker gang.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that you're probably not going to get in trouble for murdering Tallboy. I mean, you didn't murder him.
I don't get the connection between let's throw a party and getting rid of Tallboy.
I think it was like so that they all had an alibi of where they were.
Okay, there you go. Cool, thank you.
I'm guessing.
So I'm like, we don't see them doing anything with Tallboy's body or anything. Just leave him in the bunker. Nobody knows about it, but it'd stink to high heaven.
Yeah, ew. You don't want to leave him in there.
Yeah.
So that's a weird dad relationship, obviously. Betty has a weird relationship with her mom and her dad.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they all do, but her mom stole her college money, which isn't cool. That's not cool. Don't do that. And her dad is a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
But he's pretending to play dad now because her mom's gone crazy. And Betty has no friends and apparently, like, she does, but they're not helping her at all. Betty is an amazing friend. Betty is trying to fix Archie's life. She's doing all this shit. And yet, no one is helping Betty. Now, is Betty opening up to these people?
Exactly.
Is Betty choosing to suffer in silence?
Mm-hmm. Don't
Maybe.
suffer in silence, people.
Yeah, bitch to me. You know what I love? If it's valid, let's complain.
Mm-hmm.
And
people love complaining.
it's fun.
Yeah.
As long as you do it good. And like you eventually come to the conclusion that, hey, maybe eventually I have to let this go or solve it. But for a while, we have a good time.
That's right.
Like all good things, it must come to an end. But so we got Betty and Hal, and then we got Veronica and Hiram, and that's a weird dad and daughter relationship because you're like, well, they're in like a little like war.
Yeah, for the heart of Riverdale.
But then like she's like so worried he got shot, and I'm like, Veronica, he's a bad person.
Yeah, and I wish we got it, even if it comes up in future episodes, just in this one of like, I don't know whether to go see my dad. Like weird, conflict in her.
Because like as a child who grew up not liking her biological father, like it's a weird feeling. Yeah. And they do it more with Betty than they do with Veronica.
Yeah. Yes.
But you're like, Veronica has kind of the better case for it. Like to be able to like Betty's dad is a serial killer and it's very black and white.
Yes.
Like Veronica's dad is more, it's more conflicting because it's like I grew up believing my dad was a good person. Mm-hmm. I realized like 2 years ago maybe that my dad's a really bad person. Yeah. And now I'm in like a war with my father. Like that's a more, like there's more meat to that versus like Betty's like, my dad is a serial killer.
Mm-hmm. My dad was playing mind games with me to kill people.
Mm-hmm. So that's how I summarize the episode, really, is like it's the bad dad vibes or weird dad vibes.
And I think it's weird with Veronica, too, to be like, Archie, did you do this?
That is batshit. Because, like...
He probably have a good reason for it.
Also... So what if he did?
Yeah.
So
all right, that's what I'm saying. Archie's coming there. He's like, damn, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. Also, you mean the boy right now who like has a panic attack looking at himself in the mirror? You think he shot your dad? You think he's got that steady of hands right now? Mm-mm. And do you think if he shot your dad, he would have only done it once and left your dad so that your dad could still live?
Yeah, right.
No.
Archie would have been, Archie. Archie would have been in that room.
Do you remember who shot Hiram? Because I don't.
I don't remember this at all.
I have a guess, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Let us know if you have a guess, if you haven't seen it, who you think it is. Because I won't say my guess just in case it's a
Yeah, I don't have the foggiest. Like, I really don't remember this at all.
Okay, other things I really want to talk about in this episode, besides Archie's alcoholism, is that he's starting.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does with this, because we've already given up on Betty's Adderall addiction. We're just over it.
That was
it's
just
fine.
a footnote.
It was just like a little...
Happened over summer.
She was handling her shit.
That's right.
You know what? Sometimes you have a hard time. She was having a hard time.
That's the show.
So, Hal Cooper married Alice Cooper, presumably knowing she was a sinner.
Yes.
Because even if we believe Penelope that she told Hal everything about Ascension Night, if he's like operated this way in his little brain the whole time, then why would you marry Alice Cooper?
Mm-hmm.
And can you not count the months on this baby?
Exactly. And that's the biggest one. Also,
then, are you not a sinner if you think that baby could be yours?
Yeah, it's the...
Because if you think that baby could be yours...
Got some news for you.
What was her crime?
Yeah, uh-huh.
You know?
Exactly.
I've got some questions. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really make sense.
No, because she would have had like a serpent reputation beforehand, and I think he would probably be like, those are all sinners.
Yeah.
They engage in criminal activity.
Mm-hmm. So I guess
This is in his brain. You know?
Mm-hmm.
We stand by the serpents here.
Yes, of course. So do we believe that he actually didn't know anything about the Midnight Club and Ascension Night? Am I supposed to believe that? Like, is that what the episode is doing? Is Penelope's like, oh, I just told him that, so he'd have something to talk to you about?
Exactly. And then it seems to confirm that at the end.
Okay.
Of like where he goes like, think, Betty, why would I lie to you? And she's like, oh, because you're a narcissist. And he's like, ding, ding, ding.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And as a child of a narcissist, I can tell you it's
But
it's
narcissists
what they do.
Usually aren't being like, well, I'm a narcissist.
No,
and that's why I trapped you.
They usually don't confess, at least in my personal experience. But I have a limited sample size.
I mean, that's like the least of Hal's problems, I guess.
Yeah. My other question on this episode,
I guess it maybe plays into everything else. So never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to decide where his once again he needs a good therapist.
Boy, howdy.
So Sheriff Jones, Mayor Lodge, had a plan going this whole time. Pull a ripcord. Do you think Sierra's involved too? Like, who else is in this group?
I know. I think it's just the two of them because, like, he was Hermione's. No, wait, no. He was formerly Hiram's guy.
Yeah, he did the drive-in.
But all of a sudden, they're chummy, and she's like, "I want you to be sheriff," and he's like, "Hot dog."
It's a choice.
It's such a choice. Why would you make this choice?
I don't know.
It's pretty bad on paper, but it's also so wild that I never saw it coming when it came. It was like, what?
And what happened to Sheriff Keller? Why can't we just rehire Sheriff Keller as the sheriff? I mean, he's not corrupt, so it doesn't fit the storyline.
That too. And that Hermione, I guess, wouldn't
not
be
corrupt in terms of, I mean, you know how we feel about cops, but in the world of Riverdale and the plot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Because Hermione probably is like, I'm not Sierra, so he won't do all my cover-up things for me. Who would be able to be a loyal soldier? For some reason, that's FP. You
would think it'd be Fred.
But Fred wouldn't take the offer.
He's too good.
Mm-hmm. And he'd be like, I don't want to be your...
I don't know if it protected Archie.
Oh, that'd be a thing, but
and to protect the town.
Right. Yeah, he would do it on that case. Like, I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it to protect the town. But I don't know what FP's skin in the game in here is.
I mean, I think she just knows that, like, maybe he actually knows how to do things. Like, he understands the town.
But why would he want to get involved with the lodges after he told Jughead last week that he needs to watch out about getting involved with the lodges?
Because
do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly. It's very hypocritical.
Yeah, it's a turn.
It's a turn.
I would not want this for FP, but here we are.
No, but it's better than Toby becoming a cop in Pretty Little Liars because at least like this town is corrupt. So you know what I mean? Like all the rules have been thrown out the window of like regular society. Yes. So in this storyline, FP is not a cop, like a typical cop. He's not going to be like running a police force in the way that our current militarized police vibes are. It's going to be ran like the serpents.
We hope.
Which means that Jughead's going to be running it in about 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. Well, we don't know yet. He's just joining the position. He might be like, I can change it from the inside. And guess what? The inside changes him.
Maybe. Yes, because all of these cornerstones of FP.
That's right.
Speaking of FP, we're going to talk about alcoholism again. And Archie has his little fifth. He's drinking. He wasn't drinking in the jail.
No, He smashed the bottle.
Yeah.
So this is the first time he started drinking.
Except for party-wise for fun.
Yeah. The last time we've seen him drink, I think, is when he's losing it at that house party.
Wasn't it at his own house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets really drunk.
Yeah, exactly. And he calls his mom.
Yes. Mom, I have the spins.
If we have a kid, I can only hope that's what happens.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, I hope it's not at our house. Condo's only 2 bedrooms. Where are you going to fit all these people?
Oh, I just meant the calling your mom, you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
So that's not good. And we'll see what they do with that. Because it's kind of like Pretty Little Liars in this, where like sometimes you hit a good point with addiction and sometimes you don't. And I think it's just hard. Mm-hmm. Because I think
in such a heightened scenario.
Yeah. And I think also like with kids drinking, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a difference between like people who are full blown addicts versus people who are using it as an unhealthy coping mechanism. And it's a slippery slope.
Trying to do here.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. The
also just like Archie, do your year again. How much school did he miss? It's only been like 3 days.
Well, he was in prison.
Oh yeah, he was in prison. I forgot he went to juvie.
He was in
and he wasn't being taught anything. They didn't do independent study in juvie.
You think they're doing independent study at Leopold and Loeb, the place where they're having kids fight each other?
Well, they weren't fighting at the facility. They were fighting in the pool.
Sure, but at the facility they're doing catch-up work.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because he was gone for, I think, months. Because there was a span of time at the beginning. Oh wait, but that was actually before school started.
It was like
that was over summer, so he missed
Labor
like
Day.
the entire year so far.
Yeah, he didn't start. But do we know where we are in the year?
They're at SAT time, so I guess it would be. I think they're trying to do around like when the episode is airing, like beginning of the year, like January, February.
Yeah, so he missed like September to January.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's not behind. He never started.
Exactly.
Good God. Okay, well that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Hard to say you're losing the race when you didn't get a chance to start.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on these episodes?
The last thing on Archie is Fred gave him perhaps the worst advice that Archie's then take it literal. Oh, I need to fight.
Fight through it.
Instead of like emotionally, you need to like kind of like work through this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I need to fight. I need to punch things.
It's like, I think people misconstrue like fight and grit. Like you need to have grit. Mm. And like you can use them interchangeably depending, and you know, verbally, it depends on what you're saying. But I feel like grit is really what like the correct term would have been. Like you need to, and like tenacity.
Oh, like yeah, work through it.
Yeah,
we'll get through this.
Like you need to like what you're fighting for is staying right like here.
Yeah.
You're fighting for this moment. You're not fighting out of this.
Yes, exactly. Punching things isn't going to fix things.
You're fighting the hard days. You're not fighting against the world.
Exactly. You can't punch everything and fix it.
No.
Yeah, but that's it.
I mean, at least he works at the construction company, so if he does any damage, he probably knows how to drywall a wall.
That's true. So,
better than most men.
Yeah.
Well,
You can find this podcast on all your audio podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube at dead_ends. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at dead-ends.bisky.social. And we also have an email where you can write us to at deadendspcast@gmail.com. Both for the email and YouTube, please leave comments or send us emails to talk. We love hearing from listeners.
Yeah.
It's always great, and we appreciate any notes, kind notes and conversation that comes from either of those places. So, whatever you feel most comfortable with, either one of those. And also, if you have a question for the show you want us to bring up on air, you can always send it to the email or same post on YouTube. And tell your friends to give us 5 stars on all your audio podcast platforms of choice as well.
We don't fit in.
We're not gonna fit in.
And we love you.
We love you so much.